What's up, gamers? We're the Skyblock Scrubs, and today we're going to do a different video. So we're going to do a guide to Duo Tower Wars. One hasn't been done in probably years, honestly. So we figured, hey, we'll just do one, because why not? We're both rank 1s. You'll see once we enter the game, it'll say rank 1 by both of our names. So we're the #1 duo in the world in Duo Tower Wars, so you can take our word for it. And yeah, so we're just gonna get into this and just tell you as we go how to do Tower Wars. And we won't show the whole game, we'll cut through it and stuff because it would take way too long if we just showed you the whole game unedited. But yeah, we'll just give you tips along the way, so enjoy.
Alright, so at the beginning you want one person is going to be the sender, and you want to have Cosmic Anomaly as your ability. But one person is the sender, and one person is the unit placer, and one person will give all their money to the other person, so that they can send zombies and things.
Yes, so you want to auto-summon zombies right out of the gate. Now, some of this stuff, it'll vary depending on your opponent's defenses, but most of the time just spamming zombies, it's going to work on most people. And don't be afraid if you lose a couple lives at the start of the game, because you steal a lot more lives just from spamming zombies. So as you can see, our zombies are already getting through, stealing some lives. Also, as you can see, you can look at the rank of everyone in this game, and me and Gunnermutt are both rank 1. We're the #1 duo, so that's just proof.
So with the defense, if you're the player doing the defense, you want to start off with a few archers, and then you just want to spam magmas. Magmas are really OP. And you put slimes before the magmas mid-game, because the slimes slow stuff down, and then when it hits the magma, it just gets clapped.
As the sender, you want to look at other people's plots as you send stuff, especially when it gets to mid and late game. Early game is not as important because your main goal is just to spam zombies, but especially later in the game you want to look at other people's plots because you want to see how your stuff is doing. So for example, I'm looking at green and I know none of our stuff is getting through, but that doesn't really concern me because A, it's early in the game, and B, stuff has gotten through on other people's plots. So green, orange, and aqua, our 3 opponents, all look like they know what they're doing. So I'm going to stop auto-sending zombies, and the next thing you want to send is endermites. So I just unlocked endermites. I was just a bit short on the income, so I just sent a rabbit just to get there. And basically you just start off with a couple endermites and you just keep sending them, and they're a really good unit to just send in large groups. And
Endermites are the scum of the earth. They're really OP.
True. And just a common rule of thumb when you send stuff, it's really smart to send like the most expensive troop that you can. It's better to send like 2 wildcats, which are 5k each, than send like, I don't know, 30 sheep or something like that. Even if they don't get through, a lot of the game is not really just sending stuff just to steal lives, but it's sending stuff just to get your income up. So a lot of people will send a bunch of piggy banks, and don't get me wrong, piggy banks are good, but you actually get more income from sending stuff that costs more than piggy banks. So right now I'm going to auto summon piggy banks just for a bit, but sending a wildcat is going to give you more income than a piggy bank. I mean, obviously it costs more, but it's just smart to send stuff that costs more usually.
And for the defense, you want to have villagers. Villagers have a level 1 villagers have a 5x5 radius in a circle, and there's some units like creepers and spiders that when they die, they blow up and they stun all of your units for like 5 seconds. And this can be very deadly, so you want to have 1 or 2 villagers protecting your units.
Alright, this is the point of the game where I just auto summon pigs for a while, and then once I get enough income I start sending either wild cats or rainbow sheep or like 30 zombies or just some random thing, so we'll get back once we get to that. And by the way, during this quick intermission, we both have MVP++, and we both bought it just for Tower Wars, so you can trust us that we know what we're doing. Our income's up to 6k, so I'm gonna send a wildcat, and I'm gonna send another one. So these probably won't get through. Yeah, it got decimated, but our income just went from 6k to 7k. That is a huge increase, and that's like sending like 5 pigs. And another tip when you're sending is you usually, unless you're just doing it to get your income up, you usually want to send 30 at a time. So a lot of it is management. You don't want to send stuff. If you're sending stuff, you better either A, be getting money, whether it's piggy banks or just something else, or B, stealing lives. You don't want to send stuff that's not going to get you a lot of money or steal lives. That's just a waste, and it's really tough when there's a lot of teams alive, because then you don't have enough stock to send 30, and it takes a really long time to get that up, which can hurt your income. So one last thing before Gunner Mike gives you an update on the defense is with sending, a lot of the things that are good to send, you got Endermite, Piggy Bank, Rainbow Sheep, Mad Cows, Rabbits, Creepers, Wildcats, and then not Priests, but High Priests are good. So, if I didn't mention the unit, it's usually not smart to send it, so just don't.
Okay, boys, back to the defense. Now you have a lot of slimes down and a crap ton of magmas. You want to start upgrading a few of the magmas to tier 3s. You want to put a few witches at the beginning to weaken some of the units, because witches are really good. And then you want about 3 Teslas in the middle row. And no matter what map you're on, you want the Teslas kind of in the middle, because once you upgrade them to max, their range is pretty giant. And then, at the very back, you want 4 snipers just to pick off the really strong units, because snipers will just decimate ghasts once they start getting sent.
Okay, so I have enough stock and enough money to send 30 Rainbow Sheep, so I'm going to do that. So this is the way you want to go about sending things. You want to wait till you have enough money and stock to send them, and you usually only want to send 30 at a time, unless you're doing it just for income. So now I'm in a situation that you don't want to be in. I don't have enough stock, and it's slowly going up, but I have enough money to send 30 Wildcats. So this is why you want to avoid sending things that aren't going to get through. So those Rainbow Sheep I sent didn't get through, which is unfortunate, so I had to wait a little bit longer to send this big Wildcat push, which means we lost out on maybe 10 or 20k due to interest. So now that I've sent the 30 Wildcats, I noticed that on green, a few of them got through, so I could consider sending that push again. And also on orange, they got pretty far. So I think I'm going to send that push again once I hit 30, unless I have enough money to send 30 Mad Cows, which is the next unit, like more expensive than Wildcats. Or you could do 30 Creepers. Actually, I might do that. So I know I've been talking a lot, but I just have one more thing to say. This person on green team is still sending piggy banks, which is not a good strategy. A lot of people think they're like, oh wow, the income to cost ratio is so good. That is true. Piggy banks give you like the most money, like bang for your buck out of every unit. But the issue is, well, they still only give you 300 income. Even though a creeper isn't nearly as worth it as a piggy bank, that just gives you 3 times the income. I know you're spending a lot more than 3 times the cost, but it just shows you that our income is going to be much higher than green, who is sending all those piggy banks, because we're sending more expensive things. So you definitely don't want to send piggy banks the whole game.
Alright boys, so once you're getting to the point where you can buy tier 4 towers, you want to buy mostly big slimes, and some sticky towers, and then mostly volcanoes, and a few infernal towers. So infernal towers do a percentage of the unit's health, which may seem good if you have like 50 of them, but they just don't kill stuff. Any fast unit, it just gets through easily. Volcanoes stun, which is really OP. And eventually you'll just do so much raw damage that you'll kill stuff. Like, they just sent, I think, 30 Mad Cows, 25 to 30, and they just got decimated. So it's pretty OP.
Yeah, I mean, look at those. They're not even getting past the first turn. Like, they're just stuck in place. It's a freaking slaughterhouse, dude. All the animals they're sending are just getting slaughtered. Alright, so once you get to about 130k income, it's time to start saving up for the push. Now, this can either be like sending like around 5 to 10 ghasts and then just spam horses and then auto summon horses, or if people's defenses are really good, just send like 30 gas. Either one. The 30 gas is a lot more expensive, so only do that if you know that you have to. So I think we can get away with the gassed horse push. Their defense doesn't look too impressive. Green's looks pretty good, but I still think we can get through it. So are you ready to send gas and then horses?
Yep. The defense is maxed. There's nothing else I can do to upgrade it.
Alright, so send a few gas and then I'll send a bunch of horses and auto summon them. So this is how you do it. You just jittery click the horses and then put on auto summon. I have tons of we have tons of income, tons of money. So once we hit 400k income, we'll have enough for Death Riders, and we have more than enough money for Death Riders. As you can see, the horses are easily getting through on green. And yeah, all their cosmics are dying. It looks like blue is also sending some running iron golems, which are helping to tank. Obviously our cosmics are going to get broken, but that's only because they're so far up. I'm sure if we didn't have them this far up, then the troops would die. And this is pretty much how you go. We're about to hit 400k income, and I have like 2 mil, so that's like 4 Death Riders. And I'm going to keep horses on auto summon because they keep stealing lives. And you just make sure to always replace the cosmics. And this looks like a win. Green is a goner. And that is how you do it. Rank 1 duo. Best duo in the world. Teaching you how to do a duo Tower Wars game.
Easy dub.